How did our amazing continent get to be the way it is? We'll peel back the layers and turn back the clock.
That is unbelievable!
Palm tree in Alaska.
What's hiding beneath our feet? Making North America on Nova.
Tonight at 9:30 on Arizona PBS. Thanks for watching Arizona PBS, a viewer-supported community service of Arizona State University.
Programs on Arizona PBS are funded in part by a gift from the estate of Beverly Nettles. For more information on how to include Arizona PBS in your estate plans, call 602-496-8888.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. Get the inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
The list is out and the voting has begun. It's time to select America's favorite book in the Great American Read. Come to the website and see our collection of America's 100 best-loved novels. Is your favorite on the list? Vote for your book, then share your choice so your friends and family can join in. The voting is open now. I'm Meredith Vieira. Help us choose America's favorite book on the Great American Read.
Coming this fall to Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Friendship Village Tempe, a retirement community for over 30 years, offers independent living with residency options, lifelong learning classes, as well as continuing care. Information at friendshipvillageaz.com.
When you cast your vote in the upcoming election, you connect with issues that hit close to home. Clean Elections provides voter resources and tools so you can vote informed on August 28th. Connect with the facts at azcleanelections.gov.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
What's in the water? An Arizonan is one of the several people demanding the EPA to ban a chemical that could make you sick.
A medical breakthrough, how researchers have come up with a promising new treatment for brain cancer.
And scientists give a second chance to this alligator. See the new technology that built a prosthetic tail.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Nicole Hernandez.
And I'm Maya Petros. Thank you for joining us. Tucson mom Linda Robles says her children were harmed and one died after exposure to a toxic industrial chemical found in their drinking water. It's known as trichloroethylene.
But the Environmental Protection Agency has not banned TCE, and Robles was at Capitol Hill today with other parents to find out why, as Pat Pobletti reports from our Washington Bureau.
Retired U.S. Navy drill instructor Jerry Enspringer was distraught when his daughter passed away from a rare form of cancer at age 6. But when he discovered the chemical CTE, which is linked to childhood cancer, was in his community's water source, it began what he called a 21-year fight for justice.
The United States EPA reclassified TCE as a known human carcinogen. In 2012, the International Agency for Research on Cancer reclassified TCE as a known human carcinogen. Our own National Toxicological Program reclassified TCE as a known human carcinogen. What the hell are we waiting on?
What Ensminger and others are waiting on is action by the EPA. In the waning days of the Obama administration, the agency proposed a ban on TCE, a chemical commonly used in industrial degreasing. But according to Melanie Benish of the Environmental Working Group, the Trump administration has put the brakes on those proposed restrictions.
But unfortunately, the EPA under this new administration has not moved forward on those bans and actually has taken steps to delay those bans.
That brought parents who say that they lost children to TCE-related cancers together with New Mexico Senator Tom Udall today to call for action.
Today we are demanding the EPA finish what it started and place these restrictions on TCE and other dangerous toxins that are routinely making our children sick.
Tucson resident Linda Robles has seen the effects of TCE firsthand. Her drinking water was contaminated by TCE used at a nearby Hughes aircraft facility, which she believes caused one of her daughters to die from lupus at a young age, and another daughter and grandson to be born with cleft lips.
The way it makes me feel is that it's okay for our community and our children to die. It's okay.
Arizona Representative Raul Grijalva joined the calls today, telling the Trump administration to ban TCE and to stop putting the profits of chemical corporations ahead of the health and well-being of American citizens. We reached out to the EPA, but it has not yet been able to provide us with comment. In Washington, Pat Pobletti, Cronkite News.
A U.S. appeals court rules a recent executive order by President Trump to be unconstitutional. The president wanted to withhold funding from sanctuary cities, but the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has blocked the executive order. The Trump administration has said in the past that cutting funding to sanctuary cities is legal. Today's ruling came from lawsuits filed by 2 California counties. Today, lawmakers held hearings over social media leading to election interference. Security experts testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee that foreign cyber criminals can easily manipulate people using social media on polarizing issues such as immigration. One senator implied that our forefathers never envisioned Facebook when drafting the Constitution.
We believe our whole system's based on information. And we have this principle of open access to information. Thomas Jefferson said we can tolerate error as long as truth is free to combat it. Thomas Jefferson never met Facebook, I might add.
Today's hearing came after 32 apparently fake political accounts were removed on Facebook and Instagram.
Vice President Mike Pence was in Hawaii today to receive what is believed to be the remains of over 50 U.S. soldiers who died fighting in the Korean War. 55 boxes were sent from North Korea to Hawaii to begin the identification process. According to experts involved in the testing, identifying the remains could take anywhere from a few months to many years. We know for sure is that the preliminary testing results show the remains are from Korean War soldiers and are likely American.
1,000 people lost their lives last year on our roadways. Traffic deaths in Arizona hit a 10-year high. For the past 3 years, traffic deaths have been on the rise. Exactly 1,000 people died in 2017, making it the highest for fatalities since 2007. The majority of fatal accidents happens on surface streets. 2 out of every 5 deaths involved alcohol, prescription medication, or illegal drugs. DPS State Trooper Rob Brown says they are using about 300 cameras to monitor Arizona roadways in hopes of catching accidents faster and lowering the fatality rate.
What we're able to do is get the cameras directly on that, make the immediate updates so we can get immediate response from the troopers on the road and the fire department, and get the tow truck to the right location so they're not looking around, and we can get it taken care of that immediately.
2 troopers are stationed in ADOT's Traffic Control Center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The number of people visiting Grand Canyon National Park has been steadily growing for decades, with more than 6 million people visiting last year. In order to keep those millions of people safe, the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety granted the national park $10,000 to install updated DUI detection technology.
The machine that we buy for them is equipment that will actually be more accurate and be able to reflect better, because in most cases when we also draw blood, we also take breath, okay? And the combination of the two gives you more probable cost for charges or other things within a DUI arrest.
Grand Canyon National Park officials say that about 1/3 of the arrests made in the park are related to DUIs. Blood alcohol content readings from the new device will be usable in court, and the new machine will be located in the south rim entrance to the park. The machine that is currently installed will be moved to the north rim.
Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Penzone is sounding off on 3D printed guns. A federal judge in Seattle stopped the scheduled release of blueprints for the weapons Tuesday night. Penzone says the move is a good one. He worries that cartels or terrorist groups will be able to make untraceable weapons that they could take past metal detectors. The hold on the blueprint release is temporary. The issue will go back to court August 10th. Today, TGen took a step forward in battling childhood cancer.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how the research facility worked to find a promising new treatment for brain tumors.
And New Year, New Lunch, how a catering company is serving up healthy options for kids in Valley schools.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. The 2018 election season has arrived. Join us for primary and general election debates. Right here, meet the candidates and hear their positions. Arizona Horizon, your source for what matters most this election season. Only on Arizona PBS.
Here at Cronkite News, we have producers who craft shows that make an impact on our community. Our broadcasts allow students to be involved in all levels of production, from producing to directing. We are guided by highly respected professionals who mentor the journalists of tomorrow. From technical directing to teleprompting and beyond, our production crew works tirelessly to produce meaningful and award-winning shows. We are Cronkite News on Arizona PBS.
Cancer is a diagnosis no one ever wants to face. When it's your child being diagnosed, that can be an even heavier burden to bear. Reporter Jordan Daphnis went to a research center where doctors are giving new hope to patients.
DIPG is a rare terminal brain cancer that mainly affects children. In 2016, 6 children in Arizona were diagnosed and died of this disease. TGen is a research company that's working to make hope a part of this diagnosis. Hollis Doherty was a normal, happy 7-year-old kid who loved reading and sports.
He loved to play sports, and he really wasn't the best athlete on the team, and quite often he was probably the worst. But he always was drafted by a lot of the best teams in the sports league because I like to say he had the heart of the athlete.
When Hollis was diagnosed with diffuse intristic pontine glioma, also known as DIPG, he and his family fought tirelessly for his life, but the cancer spread and Hollis passed away in January of 2017.
In that moment, we knew and he was going to be gone, so we ran over and we told him, we said, we love you so very much, don't worry. We're going to be okay.
TGen is working to develop a cure for DIPG. They just launched an online tissue donation portal that will connect them to more DIPG patients and expand research opportunities.
The web portal allows us to come alongside families that want to continue the fight after their loved one has passed, and they allow us to access tumor tissue that otherwise would not be available in the course of routine care.
Because DIPG is a terminal diagnosis, the decision to donate tissue is typically not last minute.
The consideration of do we want to make tissue available for further studies after our battle is lost is not a spontaneous decision.
Dr. Barron says this web portal will make a huge impact on their research.
We get a real-world opportunity to better understanding the disease that took that patient's life, and we can create sustainable, reusable cell models of the disease that came from a patient for new target discovery, for drug development, and for testing those in a real-world setting against the disease.
The online portal has been open for 10 days, and TGen says they have already had people show interest in donating. At the digital desk, Jordan Daphnis, Cronkite News.
As students head back to school, parents are thinking about packing nutritional lunches. A local company is making healthy meals easier while giving back to the community. Reporter Andrew Christensen found out just how they accommodate underprivileged kids.
According to Feeding America, Arizona has the 5th highest percentage of children in the U.S. who are food insecure. I got an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Blue Willow, a company that is trying to change that. Whether a kid is allergic to gluten or peanuts or can't afford a lunch, this catering company says it can cook up a dish for everyone. Sizzling tofu and vegetables, one of the many healthy options Blue Willow Catering offers to schools in the Phoenix area. The company says it provides kids with a healthy meal with no peanuts, gluten, or common food allergies.
We make them fresh every day. We slice our meats every day. We have our bread brought in fresh from a local bakery.
Owner Carol Parsons founded the company because she found her daughter's preschool had unsatisfactory food. She says that there's a correlation between eating and how well a kid does in school. Because of that, she says she's donated more than 3,000 meals.
It's important if a child is sitting in a classroom and they're trying to learn and they're hungry, there's no way impossible that they can actually learn if they're hungry.
Right now, they work with 7 schools around the valley, delivering meals. They also say they can change their menu based on preferences.
Get a lot of feedback from the students, from the parents, and we just want to make sure that everybody's on board and they like what we're doing for them as well.
Parsons says most of their menu items are made in-house. She believes you are what you eat and that the only profit she likes, seeing kids fed.
Other companies, they take the high profit, and no matter whether the kids like it or not, it goes. And for us, it's all about feeding the kids.
Blue Willow owns vending machines across the valley. They say they donate all of the profits from the machines to pay for those meals to underprivileged kids. Andrew Christensen, Cronkite News.
Researchers snapped at the chance to improve prosthetics.
And they're now at the tail end of their studies. Next, how scientists improved the life of one alligator using movie magic.
And here in the valley, we're still recovering from that monsoon damage we experienced Monday. I'll have the story behind this photo coming up.
Cronkite News, weeknights at 5 on Arizona PBS.
Millions of people die every year from drinking dirty water. I would never have felt I had the ability to do something without ASU pushing me. We built filtration systems out of local materials with the people. To see those kids drink clean water for the first time, it's the most rewarding feeling that you can ever have. I went to ASU because I wanted to change the world. The thing I never would have expected is how the world would have changed me.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. Join us each weekday at 5:30 and 10 as we bring you the top newsmakers who impact the state. We cover the stories in depth that shape and affect our local communities, and we take the time to ensure that all voices are equally heard. For more than 30 years, Arizona Horizon has been your voice and your source for what matters most, right here on Arizona PBS.
The mayor of Flagstaff has signed an emergency declaration after the severe flooding that happened last month. City officials say the damage will cost around $300,000. The emergency declaration allows the city to receive help from the county and the state. Right now, Flagstaff only has around $100,000 to put toward the cleanup.
The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has issued yet another pollution advisory for the Phoenix area tomorrow. Those with respiratory problems, active children, and adults are advised to stay indoors. They have also warned that blowing dust is possible this evening.
Well, Mother Nature sure started this week with a bang.
Lauren, will we see any relief this week?
Well, as much as we'd certainly love to see some relief, we're still recovering from the aftermath of the monsoon storms we saw Monday. We had over 120,000 people across the valley experiencing power outages. And take a look at this photo we had sent in. This is from a Phoenix resident. Now, those powerful monsoon winds absolutely uprooted that tree. It came crashing down, just barely dodging her car. Fortunately, her and her vehicle are safe. They're just in the process of cleaning this up. Now, in terms of our state, we do have a low pressure system persistently sitting over our region. Those triangles indicating a cold front as well. Now, that's not necessarily going to bring our temperatures down, but it could help orchestrate some precipitation. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, we do have some isolated showers. Best chances of hitting Phoenix at about 10 tomorrow, should clear out by about midnight, and you should be clear for your Friday morning as well. But keep in consideration that you should be clear to drive tonight, but tomorrow keep an eye out for some flash flooding. Taking a look at our highs across our state today, we saw beautiful temperatures up north, 87 up in the Grand Canyon, 103 down south in Tucson, 77 out east in Show Low, and 89 up in Slagman. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we're not going to get a whole lot of relief from the heat. We're seeing those precipitation chances sitting at 20% for tomorrow night. Same goes for Monday night, 20% as well if you had evening plans. Our highs still under about 110 degrees overall, and those lows clinging to those upper 80s. So not too bad. We will take it. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Lauren Sheeler.
The same technology used in movies is helping one creature who lost his tail. Reporter Amanda Mason met the alligator and spoke with the scientists about their research and their results.
Mr. Stubbs lives at the Phoenix Herpetological Society, and I spoke with his doctor, Justin Georgi, the scientist behind the research to help this injured alligator regain mobility. Midwestern University says Mr. Stubbs was the first alligator ever to get a prosthetic tail. He received his first tail in 2013, and through 3D motion capture technology that is used in movies like Avatar, Justin Georgi was able to create a tail that fit.
When you look at their tail, you see how large and muscular it is. It's a big part of their body. It's up to 1/3 of their body weight. And that's a lot of muscle, that's a lot of power. It's the only organ they really use for powerful swimming in the water.
A lot of people with these prosthetics think that we should spend the time using this effort for people, when in reality these animals need the care as well, and it can help people in the future.
For the last year and a half, Dr. Georgi and his students have been working on a tail that will last 5 years longer than any other tail they've designed.
We've had to build a new, very large tail for him because he's now almost a 7-foot alligator. With his prosthesis, he weighs over 100 pounds. That's a large critter. That's an entirely different process that we needed to find to make this new prosthesis for him because it's so big.
In the beginning, when Mr. Stubbs was small, they created a mold of an alligator's tail that was around the same size. But to do that on a much larger alligator would be too dangerous for the caretakers and the alligator. So they turned to technology.
I've been here for about 3 years, and I've seen him go through various tails and see them come up with different ways to help him, and it's really awesome to see him be able to grow and help this research that can eventually help people in the future as well.
In fact, once we put that tail on him for the first time, he stood up and he walked in a straight line, which he couldn't even do before.
In the next couple of months, Dr. Georgi hopes to have finished his research and have a new, larger and longer lasting tail for Mr. Stubbs that is made out of less sticky material so it can slide along the floor like a real tail. In the broadcast center, Amanda Mason, Cronkite News.
The TV show American Ninja Warrior is now on its 10th season.
And its popularity is creating a new type of workout. Next, Move Over Boot Camp and Zumba Ninja Warrior style gyms are popping up and training the next generation of athletes.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Join us each week on Catalyst, the show that explores new advancements, technologies, and innovations at Arizona State University that are shaping the future for tomorrow and beyond. Catalyst, Wednesdays at 9, right here on Arizona PBS.
If you're looking for one show that tells you what happened that day in the world of business, it's NBR.
We saw a classic shipwreck.
Nordstrom's opening stores.
Triple-digit gains.
Crude climbs.
We're there to help our audience find new investment ideas.
The market still has room to go up. Nightly Business Report is the longest-running business television program in history.
Weeknights at 10:30 on Arizona PBS.
By the year 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Before Professor Halden, I had an insane amount of passion, but I almost felt helpless because I didn't know how to use it. Professor Halden gave me a chance to make a difference. Being at a place like ASU allows you to take these big leaps. Ultimately, the biggest problems in the world cannot be solved alone.
Ever wondered where contestants for the popular NBC show American Ninja Warrior got their start? Look no further than Scottsdale. Our reporter Carino Haro visited AZ on the Rocks, one of the gyms that churns out TV ninjas.
AZ on the Rocks is an indoor rock climbing gym that offers more than a place to challenge your vertical limits. It's also a place to push you to your max physically and mentally through their popular ninja training program.
36-year-old Lee Cates has been training to be a ninja since last November. What he likes most about the ninja training program at AZ on the Rocks is that he can train alongside his 6-year-old daughter, Jaylyn.
The reason they actually called upon me is because of my daughter. The number one thing is I go by, in the ninja world, I'm the daddy-daughter ninja because everything I train, we train together. But we're always doing things in this sport together, so it keeps us our nice little bond.
Since the show American Ninja Warrior first appeared on NBC 9 years ago, gyms offering ninja training have been popping up all over the country. According to the website Mud Run, there are currently 191 gyms in the U.S. that offer ninja training. In Arizona, there are 3 gyms where would-be ninjas can gain the skills they need to compete. Steve Kimpton, a self-proclaimed ninjineer and director of ninja operations at AZ on the Rocks, began this program a few years ago. He saw a need to establish a place where not only he could train himself, but instruct others who aspire to become the next American Ninja Warrior.
Well, I was trying out to get on the show. I retired 3 years ago and was looking for something to do. We were watching the show and I said, I can do that. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get on the show. And one of my other friends said, yeah, I'll do it with you. And it turned out I was the only one that was serious the following day.
Like Steve, many others have been inspired to sign up for competition after watching the show. But for Brian Rambo, he didn't even know his wife had signed him up to compete. After a successful run in Arizona, Rambo submitted a video and was selected to audition.
I ran the fastest time out of everybody, and I was a rookie, so that was kind of a big deal. I didn't know I ran the fastest time until the night was over. I just went out there and did what I do, and that was the result.
Season 10 of American Ninja Warrior began airing new episodes July 16th, where Rambo finished 5th in the Los Angeles finals. We'll find out how Cates did in Indianapolis on August 6th.
Kipton encourages those who are interested in ninja training not to underestimate the skills required to get through many of the obstacles. You may be strong, but where most people fail is in balance. Carino Haro, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on PBS NewsHour.
I'm John Yang. On the next NewsHour, off the grid, residents of the Navajo Nation in the Southwest struggle to get a steady supply of electricity. That's Wednesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
AARP in Phoenix thinks today should be your day. So get active and help keep Phoenix in motion, or get involved in improving your community. Take on today and every day. Learn how at aarp.org/Phoenix.
Arizona is leading the way in cutting-edge scientific research in our very own backyard. Join us on Catalyst, the show that explores new advancements, technologies, and innovations at Arizona State University that are shaping the future for tomorrow and beyond. Catalyst.
Tonight at 9 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Programs on Arizona PBS are funded in part by a gift from the estate of Elaine Innes. For more information on how to include Arizona PBS in your estate plans, call 602-496-8888.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Did our universe have a beginning? Was there a time before time? Is there an end of the universe? Is our universe eternal? I'm on tour in Australia, talking to audiences and scientists about two fundamental questions. How did the universe begin? And how will it end?
Tuesday night at 7 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
At Arizona Oncology, we know each cancer is unique, and so is every patient we treat. Our team is dedicated to providing advanced care, innovative technology, and personalized treatment options to patients right here in our community. When you cast your vote in the upcoming election, you connect with issues that hit close to home. Clean Elections provides voter resources and tools so you can vote informed on August 28th. Connect with the facts at azcleanelections.gov.
Arizona Highways Magazine is for people who strive to enjoy and are inspired by Arizona's unique outdoor experience, rich history, and diverse culture. Subscription information at arizonahighways.com/PBS.
Like you, we get up and go to work every day. We're on the job, keeping you connected at home, at work, and to what matters most. Others count on you, so you can count on us. We're here restoring power quickly when storms hit, even fixing issues before they happen. We're making solar more reliable, investing in battery storage, and constantly updating the grid. We're here working 24/7, keeping Arizona on.
Arizona Horizon is made possible with the support of Arizona Highways Magazine, Escape, Explore, Experience, and by APS, working 24/7 to keep Arizona on, and by the contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station.
Good evening and welcome to the special election 2018 edition of Arizona Horizon, sponsored by the Arizona Citizens Clean Elections Commission. I'm Ted Simons. Tonight we hear from one of the two Republican candidates running for governor of Arizona. We are hearing from only one of the candidates because the other Republican candidate, Governor Doug Ducey, declined an invitation to participate in a debate. Joining us now is Republican gubernatorial candidate Ken Bennett, who has served as Secretary of State and President of the Arizona Senate. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. Yes, let's get this going here. It's going to not a debate, but we're going to ask you some questions and see what you have to say. First question, why are you running against an incumbent Republican governor?
I'm running because the truth matters, and in some very critical areas we're not being told the truth. We've been told that the state budgets have been balanced for the last 4 years, and yet the total debt of the state of Arizona has gone up by $1 billion during those same 4 years. So if your debts are increasing, I say your budgets are not balanced. We were told that this last budget that was just passed was passed without accounting tricks and gimmicks or tax increases, and yet there were both of those. There was an increase to our vehicle taxes by $91 million next year, 2019, and $182 million the following year. All kinds of accounting tricks and gimmicks. As you mentioned, I served as President of the Senate, where we, for 4 years in a row, 2003 to 2007, balanced the budget without accounting tricks and gimmicks.
We were told by the governor that his top two priorities were reducing the Arizona income tax rates to as close to zero as possible, and they've made no effort on that, and then and improving education. And I think the last results we saw were that 66% of our third graders or fourth graders cannot read and write at grade level. So I think we can do better, and we're not being told the truth on some very critical issues.
You say you think we can do better at not being told the truth. Does that mean you think the governor is lying to the Arizona public?
Lying is a tough word, but we're being told one thing when other things are happening. We were told that he would support the repeal of Obamacare, as did Senator McCain. When Senator McCain ran in 2016, he said he was going to lead the fight to repeal Obamacare. And then leading up to the infamous thumbs down vote, he said that he was going to follow the lead of his governor. He trusted the governor of his state. I think I've got one of the tweets here. I will support whatever the governor believes is best for Arizona, and then he voted against it. And so I think Governor Ducey had to have had a significant impact on that decision.
Let's talk about that, because that is kind of leads us into the whole McCain Senate seat question, which I want to get to in a second here.
Okay.
But McCain's book, we've heard from the governor, we've heard from a number of people that simply is not the case, that the senator made his decision, asked for input from the governor, who wanted one thing, but the senator went another way. Do you have information that suggests otherwise?
Well, I think the public record suggests otherwise, Ted. The senator said in numerous press conferences and appearances that he was going to follow the lead of the governor. He trusted his governor. He tweeted out, I will support whatever he believes is best for Arizona. And then he did the thumbs down. And now we're being told by both of them that the governor told him to vote yes. Then if the governor told him to vote yes, why did the governor tweet out, I agree with Senator McCain that the bill is not the right approach? So I think they're trying to play both sides of the fence to give each other cover, and I think the public record indicates that.
But I think people will say, some people will say, listening to your response there, that yeah, you don't quite buy it, and you think maybe something else went around. That's fine. But to say that you know that there was some sort of double dealing or the truth wasn't had here, that's very different.
Well, I think I haven't been able to find the specific clip, but I've got people who saw when the senator left the floor after doing the vote that he told some reporters that he had followed the suggestion of his governor and had voted thumbs down. And then I think now afterwards we're seeing in the book, or we're having comments that no, the governor told him to vote yes. Well, if the governor told him to vote yes, why did the governor tweet out that night that he agreed with the no vote that McCain made?
So you don't believe the governor and you don't believe Senator McCain?
No, I don't know who wrote the book. He had a writer in the book, and if they are putting something in there, there's now talk of a private conversation between the two of them where we're told that the governor told him to vote yes on repealing Obamacare, and I say that doesn't jive with Governor Ducey's own tweet that he agreed with the senator that the senator went no. So
yeah, and keeping with Senator John McCain, you commented on the Senate seat. A tweet, I promise I will not appoint Cindy McCain to U.S. Senate as governor of Arizona. I don't believe our U.S. Senate positions are family heirlooms. Step up to the mic or step down, Senator. Those are three separate tweets.
Yes.
After the original one, you doubled down a couple of times here. And you upset a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats. Why did you feel the need to do that?
As I was driving from Prescott down to the Secretary of State's office on May 30th to turn in my petitions, which the governor's campaign had worked very hard to try to keep me from getting my petitions. They offered to pay one of the groups that helped me collect petitions to not collect petitions for me. But as I'm driving down to the Capitol, I hear radio stories referring to a Newsmax story out of Washington, D.C., where it had been all agreed, according to this article, between very close individuals to both the McCains and the Duceys, that if the senator could not fulfill his term because of health issues, that it had already been agreed, or an agreement or a deal, different people use different words, that Governor Ducey was going to appoint Cindy to replace her husband as the U.S. Senator. And I simply, that's one of the most important things that a governor might have to do every so often, is appoint people to certain positions. And the way the Constitution of the state is written, if there's a vacancy in a U.S. Senate seat, the governor appoints somebody. And that's a public policy issue. And I simply issued a statement that I would not, if I were governor and had to replace that position, I would not do so with his wife, Cindy.
Do you regret